I checked out a movie right after we recorded our last session for Boogie Nights. I the next day I was going through my subscriptions and I found this movie called Deep Cover, starring Lawrence Fishburne, and it's directed by Bill Duke, which is one of the things that pulled me in. I mean, I love the fish. He's great, and he's great in this. But Bill Duke, if you don't know Bill Duke off of the tip of my tongue, if you've ever seen Predator, he plays Mac. He's one of the crew in Predator, and he's also a director, and he's directed quite a few things, and this is one of them. And I have to say, I was like really pleasantly surprised by this movie. I mean, I thought it would be good, but it was really good. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw it out there, like Deep Cover, starring Lawrence Fishburne, who's credited as Larry Fishburne for the last time in his career.
Yeah.
Stars, carries the whole movie. He plays like an undercover cop. Oh, and Jeff Goldblum is in the movie.
Sold.
Totally like different kind of character than you would expect from him. I mean, it has a really good cast across the board, but they're kind of the main characters. Yeah, it's got a lot of really good twists, some things you don't expect, and then the way it totally sticks the landing. Like, it just has a really good payoff, and then the way it all comes together, it's like, oh man, that's good writing. So
Yeah.
I was like really pleasantly surprised by this particular movie. I highly recommend it. I watched it on the Criterion channel because it is, I believe, a part of the Criterion collection. So that was where my expectations kind of started. But once I started watching it, and then just again, the performances and the writing and the story and the execution just all kind of just made it take off. So it's a really good crime drama from the early 90s. And yeah, Deep Cover. Check it out.
All right.
I also, just the other day, got a recommendation to check out a newer movie, which I did. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about that as well. But it's called Freaky Tales, and it came out just last year. It stars Pedro Pascal, and it's an anthology kind of a movie. It's like 4 stories that intertwine. It takes place in 1987 in Oakland, California. And that's kind of also very significant to the story because it plays into a lot of the characters and their situation and their motivation. So, like, for example, one story is about some punk rocker ska kids who have to, fight white supremacists that come and mess up their punk rock shows. They're all a lot of fun. And like I said, they're kind of intertwined. As I was watching the movie, I really got flashes of a movie called Repo Man from the 1980s with Emilio Estevez and Harry Dean Stanton. There's a big influence of Repo Man in this movie. Pulp Fiction, because again, it's the intertwining stories and the nonlinear stories, and sometimes the characters are like in the backgrounds of the other stories as they're happening, and then you go into that story and you see what's happening. So narratively, it's a nonlinear narrative, but they do it really well. And then the third act was just right out of the Yakuza, which is a 1970s movie that I just happen to love. That I think everybody should also check out separately. But so for me, it was a lot of fun to watch this movie. But the best part of this movie was a cameo, one scene by Tom Hanks.
Wow.
And you're not expecting it, and I'm not ruining anything by it, but when he shows up, it's a lot of fun, and it can stand alone. I mean, I've seen his clip isolated on social media because it's that good. So it was really a lot of fun. Like, if you want to just like check out for a bit and have a good time and, see an entertaining movie, Freaky Tales will take care of you.
All right. Add it to the list.
So yeah, my movie this month is F1. I like Brad Pitt. I mean, if you watch my Letterboxd, you understand.
Yeah, and I remember seeing a list of your DVD collection, and I want to say it's probably like 85 to 90% his filmography.
Yeah. He's a good actor.
He is a good actor. I
And he's good
can't.
looking, so.
Well, I
He's
The
won't
a-
handsome
argue either
devil.
of those points. I'm
yeah.
secure. I can say those kinds of things.
And I come from a city in France where we're well known for car racing. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know Le Mans. So
Or as we
F1.
say in America, Le Mans.
Oh, okay, Le Mans. So
For the
yeah.
European impaired.
So I wasn't expecting like the best movie ever in terms of scenario. And to be frank with you, it's the case. You don't you don't watch this movie for that, but it was really a cinema experience, and I will be curious to watch it on TV because I'm not sure you're gonna feel the same thing. Everything is about a visual and sensorial experience. I don't know if it's a right word in English, but sensory. I think you see a sensory
Mm-hmm.
immersion. Yeah, you have the atmosphere. You have amazing race scenes, a great direction. You have onboard cameras, really speed effects, the sound also of the machines and. Yeah, I really love the atmosphere, and I think even if you're not a huge fan of car racing, you get the adrenaline at the end. You know what I'm saying. So it's really about that, to be frank with you. It's like the Hollywood blockbuster without any scenario. It's Brad Pitt, who is a Formula One driver who got retired, and he comes back to save the racing team of one of his friends. Okay, so he comes back, and the current main driver is a very young guy played by Damson Idris, and I love the dynamic between Brad Pitt and this guy because you have the young guy who doesn't care about anything. He thinks he knows everything. He doesn't need any person, and you have the veteran guy who is quite sure about himself. He knows everything. He thinks he knows everything too, and he's gonna teach the little boy, but actually the boy can teach him stuff too. You know what I'm saying? It's a really good dynamic between them. And there is an actor that I love, a Danish actor. I don't know if you know him, Kim Bodnia. He plays in it also. And last but not least, you have Javier Bardem. I don't know how you say that in
Oh,
English.
yeah.
Javier
Javier Bardem.
For me, I think he was underused in this movie. You don't see him much. He's actually the manager of the team. So he's
Mm.
the Brad Pitt's friend. You don't see him much, but every time you see him, I mean, I love this guy. He's so intense. The way he speaks, his voice, is kind of sexy. So yeah, I mean, yeah. What I'm saying about this movie, it's a very good cinema experience, but the scenario is not there. So if you just want to see something spectacular, watch F1.
Okay.
All right. Movie I checked out the other night, something I wanted to see for a while. Of course, I don't get to go to the movies as much as I wanted to, but it popped up on Peacock. It's a movie called About My Father, starring Sebastian Maniscalco, who is one of my favorite comedians. I love his stuff. I love his take on things, his humor, his perception of the world. And I was excited because it's semi-autobiographical. There's embellishments, obviously, but I know his life well enough that I know what he was pulling from. But he got De Niro to play his dad, which was awesome. And this movie didn't get great reviews, and I could say that I understand why, but I honestly don't understand why. It's not the greatest comedy you're ever going to see. It's not even the most original comedy you're going to see. But what was refreshing for me was that it was a comedy. And I feel like we don't get a lot of good comedies anymore. And this
Yeah.
was pretty good. Like here's a guy. He's not. He's a comedian, stand-up comedian. He's not really an actor per se, but I think he does a pretty good job. You've got De Niro, like I said, in there. You got Kim Cattrall in there.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Ah,
who for me, I didn't know she was in the movie. I just knew him and De Niro. That's all I really knew. And then she popped up, and I've been in love with her since that episode of The Incredible Hulk when he fights the gorilla at the zoo. Um, so I've been in love with Kim Cattrall for decades. So when she
Uh-huh.
popped up, and she was fucking hilarious in this movie. She's really good. So those are the biggest names in the film. I just thought it was a good time. It was 90 minutes. I laughed a bunch. It had a nice little message inside of it, even though I kind of know his life story because I heard his audiobook and and basically he talks about his dad and his life in his comedy. That's what it's, he talks about his family. So
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a complete foreign story to me, but it was cool to see how they embellish certain things and change certain things. And it was just, like I said, it was a really solid comedy, good 90 minutes. There's a couple off-color jokes, but you could even watch it with the family because I think it'd go over most kids' heads, some of the things that they're talking about. It was just nice to see a comedy again, just a flat out straight up 1, 2, 3 comedy. So, if you want to see something entertaining, if you love Sebastian, you got to see it. If you just want to see him and De Niro going back and forth, having some funny exchanges, I mean, I don't think you could lose with this movie. It's not going to change your life, but I think you'd be entertained for 90 minutes.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need that,
Yeah.
you just need that like little break to like decompress and be distracted. And honestly, I don't know who this dude is. Like you said his name a few times and I still it's
Me
not
neither.
ringing a bell, but I know De Niro and of course I know Kim Cattrall, again, Emmy,
Yep.
from Mannequin.
Absolutely.
That's where, and Big Trouble in Little China. I think that's where we met. And then,
Yeah.
and then,
yes. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't know that that's who that was in that episode. I'm like, this girl's gorgeous in the Incredible Hulk when I was a kid watching that in syndication. But then, Mannequin. I mean, still to this day,
yeah,
there's a couple women in movies who are just, it's like a snapshot in time that were just flawless. And
yeah,
she's flawless in that movie,
uh-huh,
like Olivia Newton-John in Grease, flawless
right,
the entire time. Even
yeah.
I will say Julie Andrews in Mary Poppins is gorgeous,
Uh-huh.
like picturesque, like for days. She's gorgeous in that film. But yeah, Kim Cattrall, man, can't go wrong. She's very funny in this movie. Very funny in this movie.
Well, and in that same breath, for me, I gotta say, Heather Langenkamp in A Nightmare on Elm Street is probably on that list, and we'll talk all about that next week on our podcast. So those are the coming distractions for this week.